Greetings and welcome to Rimworld Alpha 9. So it's finally here, and the title of this alpha is Tales of Drunkenness. So if you want to know more about the new alpha and all of the new stuff, I suggest you go watch Tynan's video if you haven't done so already. But I will be giving a short summary of all the new stuff while I'm setting up the new game. So this time I'll be playing on a jungle biome, because I haven't played on that for a very long time. So let's generate this world. I had to search for a proper one, because I wanted to play on a jungle biome that still had a growing period. As you can see, most jungles have a year-round growing period, which I don't really like, because it makes things a little too easy perhaps. Although, that is to say, February, November isn't exactly all that difficult to maintain. But either way, I also had to find one with a bit of hills, so that I have a few resources. So I have a choice between large hills, or mountains. Well, I'm gonna choose large hills, because mountains is maybe a bit too much. I actually have small hills here as well, but I'm gonna choose large hills for once. Let's see, what's the difference between these two? Not all that much. This one seems a bit more extreme, if you can call it that anyway, because it does have a lower minimum temperature and a higher maximum. So that gives more fluctuations, so I'll be choosing this one. Alright. Actually, I'm just saving the world. Now I'm gonna be choosing Randy Random, and let's go on challenge. That'll do, and this should be the newest one. Yes, indeed. And I guess I was going for this one. Alright, let's go advanced and let's set it on large. Let's pick this one. That'll do. Wait, already did that. Select site. Yeah, and I'm kind of still setting up stuff. As you can hear, some new UI sounds. I'm not sure how loud it's actually on the video. Hopefully not too loud, but I'll refrain on clicking all these things too much. Let's see. Let's get a few people that are somewhat competent. This one will do. This one will do. And this one will do. Okay, so they're all reasonably well. Okay, good enough. So, about the new stuff. What do we have? Well, obviously, Tales of Drunkenness indicates that there will be alcohol. So you can make beer from hops, which is one of the new crops that are included in the game. And some other crops are corn and rice. Corn is something you can eat raw, and rice is something, well, you can actually eat everything raw, but corn is tasty when it's eaten raw, and rice not so, as you can imagine. Alright. Okay, other stuff. Let's think for a moment. Let's actually take a look at this map. So what other stuff do we have? Well, a lot of stuff. It added a lot of small things. It fleshed out quite a few features that were already included in the game. For example, heat will now dissipate between walls. So if you, for example, have a whole row of bedrooms, you only need to heat one in the middle, and the other ones will heat afterwards as well. There's a lot of other stuff. So yeah, your guys can get drunk from drinking too much alcohol, which will make them have a bad mood. However, a little bit of alcohol will make them have a better mood. So you kind of have to balance that. Although they will start drinking by themselves as well. So you might have some drunkard in town, and yes, you will have to adapt your strategies from that. Well, this actually looks like a decent place to set up. I haven't really checked. Let's see, geysers. We got one here. What else we got? I'm actually not seeing all that many geysers. Oh yeah, and there's marshes here. Well, that'll be a pain. So yeah, I had kind of a city plan. Well, city is maybe too much to say. Plan for a town, and how to make it somewhat defensible, but still look like a town, so no utterly ridiculous skill boxes that make the game too easy, but it'll be somewhat more structured. Alright, well, I'm gonna set up something here for now. I will break down everything that needs to be demolished in case it's on the wrong position, but for now everything will do. Let's see, I gotta adapt to this again because I've been playing with mods for such a long time, and of course I don't have EDB, so no easy access to your colonists. So let's see, let's make wood walls because, well, there's plenty of wood everywhere. Well, let's start off with a few bedrooms. So as usual, I will be making these. Oh yes, and now we got this thing, so we can actually see how long this wall is, which is good. Although I have to calculate now how long it should be. Let's just make something. This one should be 5, that I know. I usually make my bedrooms about 4 on 4. I think that's a decent size. It's not the best, but it'll do. Let's allow all these things to be gathered. Oh, right, and the guns. So, what do we got for these people? And this thing keeps blinking. Yes, I know. Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of new stats actually that you can check somewhere. So yeah, I think these are new. Yeah, they have to be new. All this stuff, which is actually pretty useful to see. Oh yeah, and there is food poisoning. So yeah, the level of cooking your colonists have actually influence the chance of food being able to poison your people. So you gotta make sure that your best cook is doing all the cooking. And same thing for surgery. So if you have someone that's terrible at medicine, you don't want them to do surgery because otherwise things might go horribly wrong. Right, I was gonna check all the shooting stats. Let's see. You're not great, you're good, and you're actually also good. However, you seem to have a... Oh, no you don't. Okay, you get the Enfield, you get the pistol, and you get the knife. Which actually works out, seeing as you're somewhat good at melee. Okay, let's continue time, I suppose. I actually gotta place some doors, perhaps. That would be best. Okay, there we go. And some furniture. Let's make it all out of wood. Worst thing that can happen is it all burns down, but we'll get to that when it happens. Right, and I also need some sort of a room where I can do the first crafting things and eating. So I'm gonna make this, I don't know, I'm thinking streets of 3 or streets of 4. I think I'm gonna go with 4 here, because this will be some sort of main street. Okay, that'll do. I'm gonna make it the same size as this building. That'll keep things a little bit structured. And let's actually build 2 doors. That'll do. Now, of course, we need a stockpile. Let's put that somewhere out of the way. Yeah, I can store pretty much everything there. And let's make a dumping stockpile someplace else. Let's place it above. Alright. And of course we'll be needing growing zones. So let's take a look. Yeah, let's plant them all here for now. I will be moving these things later on. Actually, I should have planted all this stuff here. But it'll do. And let's start chopping some wood. Alright. Now what are we planting here? So yes, we got potato plants, you got rice, corn. Corn grows a lot slower than rice. However, as I said, it is possible to eat it raw, so that's good. And we got hops. I won't be brewing any beer just yet. I want to make sure that we have food first. So Let's actually go ahead and plant corn, because I can eat it raw. It'll take a while before it is... Wait, what is this? So, as Walter draws near the ancient structure, a sense of foreboding overcomes him. He isn't sure why, but he feels that this dusty structure may contain great danger. Oh yeah, this thing. Yeah, I'm not gonna open it. Not yet. But I'm gonna have to eventually. So yeah, something else that was added is there are a lot of tales now, stories about your colony. You can find those stories when you build a structure, so people will do some engravings basically on the sculpture telling about something that happened in your colony, and all of that will depend on what happens in your colony. So if you have done a lot of fights with pirates, then you probably will be getting some stories about your fights against pirates. If you have a whole town full of drunkards, you will probably get a tale about all your people vomiting on each other. So yes. Also, I think weapons can get some engravings, and there's a lot of other stuff, a lot of small stuff. There's personal shields for your pawns. Actually, I'm not sure how those things work. I did do testing for this game, however I didn't test that specifically, so that's something new that I'll have to find out. Alright, now we do need food. We actually need a lot of stuff. They need to build this thing. They're still chopping wood, so I'm gonna have to wait until that is done. And yes, I chose the jungle because I haven't played on this for a very long time, and I kind of want to see, well, how it plays. There will be a lot more chances for diseases here, so that'll kind of make sure that the whole surgery thing and the doctor skill actually matters. So that'll be nice. And also I think that heat management in this game is a lot more difficult than cooling everyone. So when you play on a tundra or boreal forest or wherever it's cold, it's easy to stay warm. You can equip your guys with parkas, you can place heaters everywhere. It's not that big of a deal really, except for your plants dying, but that's about it. But heat management is a lot more difficult because you can't, for example, equip everyone with some sort of airco. That's totally impossible, so wherever they go out when it's hot, they will have some heat issues. So we kind of have to manage a few more things, and apparently Ape was too lazy to build a bed. That's not good. We got plenty of wood, so I guess he'll be making it soon enough. Actually, we started in March, so let's see, we still got quite a lot of time before winter arrives, even though it probably will barely be a winter, as the average temperature was 8.5 degrees, so that's not bad. It's not even cold. So this food won't last for very long. Okay, something I do need to remember is that this is the vanilla game, so I can build a lot more stuff early on, including all of this stuff. Oh yeah, we do get a power switch now, which allows you to manually switch power for things on and off, because one thing that did change is that you cannot manually switch power off for these sort of buildings. Your colonists have to go do it. So one way around this is to place power switches at certain places where you really want to make sure that you want to switch things on and off manually. Who's actually growing stuff? I should be paying attention to all of this. I'm gonna go with manual, because I think manual is actually very useful when you don't have a lot of colonists, because it's very easy to manage. However, when you get to have many colonists, like in the last playthrough I had, where I had about 30, 35, I don't know, it would have probably been best if I put it back to non-manual and just assigned them some stuff to do that they had to figure out themselves. But for now, let's make sure that we do growing. Let's put it on 2. So we get growing. Actually, Ape seems to be the doctor. That's good. We don't need any wardens yet, although I guess I should be building a small building to have a prison bed in, because it probably won't take long until we have the first person that attacks. Actually, did I choose random on challenging. Wow, actually we got a lot of hostile people. I think I did. I hope I did. Actually, I should be able to check that, right? Let's see. Yes, okay, that's good. Okay, never mind. My memory was just a bit fuzzy. Let's continue. Now, what was I actually talking about? Oh, right, I was gonna check all the priorities. So yeah, Ape is now planting stuff, which is good. Hopefully this Cobra is being nice. This food won't last for long, but this corn will be edible once it's grown. So 4 days, that means it's still about 8 days until it's grown. I might actually plant a whole bunch of berries. Actually, I could harvest berries, so that's not too much of a problem, but I'm gonna plant berries nonetheless. Because those are very nice to start off with, seeing as they grow fast and they are edible raw. Now I gotta make sure that I get some sort of power going. And as for the plan for the town, it'll sort of go in a C shape. So all the... Oh, and what do we got? We got Sleepville. Okay, that's a new one. Haven't had that one yet. Hopefully not everyone is gonna get some sort of sleeping sickness that makes them all useless. We're gonna have to wait and see. So yeah, as for the town, as I said, it's gonna be some sort of C shape. All the houses will be on this side. Then I'll have a dining area and possibly a hospital in the middle. And that'll make sure that every one of my colonists go to the same building for eating, which means I can easily manage all the beautification and all the food storage and all of that stuff. So that'll be one thing. Then in the middle, probably some sort of crafting building. It might be fairly large. I don't know how large I should be making it yet. And after that, there will be a prison. And basically, there will be some walls around the bedrooms, but not totally close. They will be able to enter from here and here around these buildings in the middle. And so pirates will probably attack from the north and the south. And there I will have some sort of positions for my people to stand. And in case they have to fall back, they can fall back into the, well, near all these buildings and stand in doorways and all of that sort of stuff. And over here I will have a few turrets on both sides. And yes, because you cannot turn things on and off manually. Actually, I could if I use a power switch. Yes, I'll get to all the power stuff when I actually get power. So yeah, as for the colony, we should be chopping a lot of wood. However, no one is building. I'm guessing Ape is the only constructor. Yes, of course, my bad. So let's make sure all of these guys can construct something. That should help quite a bit. Yes, good. Now they are doing the right thing, as I need this bed to be made. So, what else am I doing? I'm gonna need to build a research table. Let's put it down here. That'll do. And we will need some tables. Let's start off with a small wooden table back here. And some chairs. It's gonna be all out of wood for now. As I said, we have plenty, so that's no problem. Actually, haven't really checked where I can mine things. So, what is this? Oh, right, yeah, you can now mine uranium, which I don't really need at the moment. We got a lot of steel here. We got a bunch of steel here. However, this is pretty close to this building. We actually got a lot of steel here. I'm gonna mine this first. Although I actually still have plenty of steel, but I might mine some nonetheless. We got a lot of stuff lying around here as well. We could pick this up. And a bunch of survival meals. Let's pick these up as well. So Ape finally has a bed. That's good. We need defenses. Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do. Although then again, I'm pretty experienced with fighting without any defenses, as I have found that pawns with weapons are much more reliable than a few turrets, as I have proven in the last playthrough and the ones before as well. I usually go on the offensive. For example, if some AI thing crashes down, I just go in and shoot everything to bits. Of course, that doesn't always work out properly. Sometimes it gets very risky, but well, you gotta take some risks, otherwise it's just waiting behind walls and letting all the turrets in the kill box doing everything for you, and I don't think that's exactly very fun. Maybe it is if you want to play for yourself, but I don't think it's very fun when you're trying to make some videos of this game, because every fight would be pretty much the same. Alright, now what's next? So yeah, wind turbines have changed also. As you can see, their boxes around them are, well, simpler this time. And also the wind is now variable, so we won't always get the 750 watts or double that when there's a thunderstorm. It will now vary a little bit. So question is, what do we make? Well, nice thing about the wind turbine is that we do not need any batteries at the moment. So I'm gonna go ahead and make a turbine somewhere. So of course we have these marches on which you cannot build anything. However, I can build turbines over them, at least half. For example, like this. This was something I was gonna do in some other playthrough. I think the one that I started with for Alpha 8, but that ended after only a few episodes. So yes, you can do this and actually make use of all this normally useless space. Although my town might get a little bit... Actually, I can build on top of this, so that's okay. My town will be a little bit shaped around these marchers perhaps, but that might actually look pretty good. So I might build one up here. No, I want to get two in here. So one up here perhaps, and one down here. That'll work. So let's start off with this one. And the next one ought to be over here perhaps. Yeah, let's build two at once, because why not? Then I just need to place some power lines and that should be it. Of course they will have to chop down a lot of stuff to do this. So let's make sure that they do. Let's do cut plans. That should be good enough, I hope. Then I'll be paving the floor under this. I wonder how I will do this. So metal tile, paved tile, concrete. Actually, what's all the beauty? Actually, I don't care about the beauty. It's -1. Oh yes, talking about beauty. There is now a beauty tool like this. So you can see all the individual tiles. So if you have the cursor on a tile, that would be pretty much what your pawn would be aware of the beauty. So if you place a pawn here, he would have -2.6 for the pleasantness of the environment. And as you can see, all the things are being averaged. And when you go inside the building, they do not look beyond the walls, which makes sense. And also certain crops actually have a nice beauty to them. Although it's difficult to read actually, because it's green on green. This one has a beauty of 1. The strawberries also have a beauty of 1. I think Syringium is actually very beautiful. I think it has a beauty of 30, which is quite a lot. Trees have a beauty of 5, at least these ones. These ones have a beauty of 2. So it's very nice to actually see how it's all calculated. Right. Yes, we need defenses. No, gotta get rid of this thing because it's quite a bit in the way. Now, how about food? We should have these strawberries pretty soon. Yes, that's good. That's very good. I'm just gonna wait for power. Of course, they do need to chop down all of this stuff. Might need to chop down that little thing as well. I'm actually gonna make wooden floors, because it looks a little better, I suppose. Now, of course, they will not be able to reach this little patch, I think. Although, wait, it's a marsh, so they should be able to walk through it. Yes, okay, that's good. And let's do the same here. Alright, there we go. And I guess with this I'll be ending the episode. So we made a little bit of progress. We're planting crops and we got a name. The name is Sleepville. And next time I'm hoping I can hook up some power and perhaps do some cooking. I don't know. I'm gonna have to wait and see. But yeah, hopefully you enjoyed this episode. Thank you very much for watching and see you next time.